Hi, I'm Coach Insiya. I'm a GLP-1 strategist and mindset coach coming to you on my little road trip right now. I wanted to talk about the misconception that after you lose the weight, you're just going to love your body. It doesn't work like that. It'd be really great if it was that simple. But the reality is that many of us that are on the Zepbound journey, I myself have lost over 65 pounds with Zepbound so far. Many of us are coming to this with a lifetime of different things that have prevented us from losing the weight. And all of a sudden, getting Zepbound has been a game changer. It's allowed us to really have our body work the way that we hear other people talking about, but it never worked for us before. So we're able to eat and pause when we're full as long as you have a bit of the hunger recognition, right? Some people are fully suppressed and unable to experience that yet. But if you stay on a dose long enough, you should be able to experience what Zepbound is meant to be experienced as. Now, how does all this matter with our body image? The truth of the matter is that who doesn't want to lose weight and look good, right? We want to feel good in our skin. It doesn't mean you have to lose weight to feel good, but there is that inner belief that we have spent by a lifetime of consuming media, things that our friends and family may have said, or strangers, in the idea that when we have succeeded at losing weight, they compliment us and say that we look pretty or we look good. And if we have gained weight, they say nothing at all. Even if we've done our hair, bought the prettiest dress, we have a lot that we're working through for our body image from what others have shared and for what we see ourselves. So if you are losing weight on Zepbound and you've struggled with what you feel about yourself in the mirror, even if you've been overweight for a smaller amount of time, like you've just gained weight after kids, but prior to that, you really didn't have a weight problem. Or if you've been like me, who you've struggled with your weight your whole darn life. I have been overweight forever. And it has been something that like people would always comment on, tell me that I should try to do this. I remember, like, being told, "If you just stop eating so much cheese," okay, you'll always see I do not measure my cheese, okay? Cheese is a love language for me, and I don't care, but this is something that just people would think is okay to say to me because I was overweight, to give me suggestions that really shouldn't make a difference. I shouldn't have to deprive myself of a whole food group or a whole type of food in order to lose the weight. But like it all impacts how we have been feeling about ourselves. And that's why mindset work matters so much. You have to actively work on what you've been through, process that out. And for some of us, we may need to seek therapy and do some much more detailed inner work. And for others, we may want to do a combination, right? So you're working with a therapist on your deep inner work, but you also want to work on your mindset on how you're experiencing things, how you are processing this weight loss, how you're processing this new body of yours, how what you feel about yourself when other people are recognizing your weight loss or not recognizing your weight loss while you're on that bound. These are like actually fairly complex things that you can't just like wing it. And this is just not something that's talked about enough. That's really what my whole platform is about, to make sure people understand that it doesn't just happen overnight. One day you've hit your goal weight and all of a sudden everything is perfect, like sunshines and rainbows. I can tell you that because I've spoke intimately with people who have got to their goal weight, had the weight loss surgery, sorry, had the loose skin surgery, did all of the things that you would expect to do. And they sit there and they're struggling to identify that, they're struggling to experience that like love for themselves that they thought would be at the end of this rainbow. And I'm going to tell you that like it doesn't work that way. From coaching so many women on how you truly fall in love with yourself, what you need to do is start that work immediately. And you need to do it by loving who you've always been. Okay. We can't connect our value by the number on the scale because it's just not true. We are so much more than a number on the scale. We bring so much to the table, our brilliance, our drive, our willingness to take risks because hello, we're on Zepbound. Some of us have been on Zepbound from the early days or one of the other like mounjaro before it was approved as Zepbound. We're kind of bold women that are willing to do what's needed to take care of our health. But it's just a matter of staying on the right side of that line to make sure that we are doing it for our health, our wellness, and then taking the time to appreciate who we are for doing that. Because that's worth appreciating so much. And again, these things don't just miraculously happen. You have to actually invest some time in doing the work, in whether, I find the honestly, the easiest way to do that is a little journaling. A little journaling, if you can do it daily, oh my gosh, the life-changing experience you would have. Do a little journaling about valuing who you are, who you've been, incredible. If you could take some time in the mirror and do some affirmation work, I know not everyone feels like that's a valuable, worthwhile time. But I'll tell you, as a naysayer, before I started this journey, oh my God, if someone told me, oh, you just have to take some time to do affirmations, I would laugh at them. I would just be like, are you kidding me? What the heck is that going to do for anything? And while I was losing the weight on Zepbound, I realized that I was starting to kind of disconnect with myself a little bit. I was seeing that maybe I was losing some weight, but I wasn't really like feeling like the person I thought I would feel like when I've lost the weight. So I took a chance and I did some research as I like to do for everything. I do so much research, more than necessary. And I found like a combination of affirmations that kept me from feeling triggered by my own experiences because that's important, right? Like I mentioned, when you're living with a lifetime of obesity or even an obesity, even if you've been dealing with obesity for a decent number of years, there's some trauma that you're working through, and triggering myself through affirmations is not useful, right? And not all affirmations are equal. So I found value statements that allowed me to truly feel strong, feel powerful, feel that I am in control of what I'm doing without trying to over control this experience. And I wrote them on index cards and I literally just shoved it into the corner of my master bathroom. So when I brush my teeth in the morning, I look at it and then I take a minute after I brush my teeth to say the affirmations. If I'm rushing, I'll do both at the same time, honestly. But the point is that it's part of my daily routine. And I could not believe the difference that made for me. Like, what? Speaking these powerful words to myself in the mirror, looking at myself. And in the beginning, I thought it felt really silly, right? Like, here I am saying these words out loud. My husband walked by the first time I was doing it. And by the way, I was trying to do this in private. He was downstairs with the kids, and I thought no one's going to notice that I'm trying this crazy idea because I just wanted to feel the way I thought I should feel on this weight loss journey, the way I should feel about myself. So my husband walks by and he's like, are you doing okay? Is everything okay? I'm like, I'm I just owned it. I'm like, I'm doing some affirmation work so I can feel empowered in my journey. And you know what? I started making him do it. I don't really know if he does it or not, but I like to pretend that it's on the mirror. So maybe he's absorbing some of it. Well, I love that as part of my routine. It takes a minute for myself when I have no minutes for myself more often than not. I'm working a full-time job, juggling this coaching business, which is takes more hours than a full-time job does. And I have two very young kids and a partner, my husband, that I love very much. Like these are things that, I'm making time that doesn't really like exist. I'm just trying to like do as much as I can, not to mention the things I need to do for my own health journey, right? So what I say to you is like, yeah, I know. No, none of us have time. If you're watching this, I already know something about you that you're the type of woman that is already doing way more than the usual, right? You're giving it your all because the fact that you're even listening to this, if you weren't that type of person, you would hate my content. You would not be listening to this video at all. And I speak to you, the woman that is doing everything for everyone. And while you are taking Zepbound for yourself, I think you could do yourself a better do yourself more service by using the time to focus on what you are thinking, feeling, believing about yourself while you are taking this walk. Don't wait till you lose the weight to then try to find a therapist to do all this work because that's going to be very complicated. Get a therapist now. I will always say that. The women that I work with, I genuinely speak with them about having that as an integral part of our journey. We are changing our whole body, our hormones are affected. That means everything that we do is impacted. And that doesn't even include the lifetime of trauma, of dealing with obesity, or the decades, or however long that we've been struggling. Like most people aren't taking Zepbound because they just have a little bit of weight to lose. Okay, let's seriously. Some of the other medications, sure, maybe. But when I'm speaking to you, because you're taking Zepbound or Wegovy, you had to do a little bit of work to get that medication. Prove a few things, right? Like it didn't just get handed to you. Maybe it did. That wasn't my case, but you probably have heard that if you've watched any of my other videos. If you get anything out of this specific video that I'm sharing with you, this specific audio that I'm sharing with you, I want you to understand that you have to take time to invest into your mindset, to care about who you are becoming, who you are feeling, like what you are feeling about who you are becoming, okay? You don't just magically you don't just magically feel like rainbows and butterflies after you've lost your weight. If you're currently picking yourself apart every time you look in the mirror, why would that go away because you've lost weight? You have to actually like take some time to learn self-compassion. This is a skill. And that's the other thing. Like I feel there's this like belief that it's having mindset, you just have a strong mindset is something that's exists. No, you have to cultivate it. You have to build it into your life. It's a skill that you have to practice until it becomes something that is second nature. It doesn't just like happen. um, and so for some of us, we may need to do a lot more of the work. And for others, we might need to do some work. But at the end of the day, there is still effort involved in gaining that skill of how we need to talk to ourselves, how we need to feel about ourselves, and how we can value who we truly are. Again, sure, there's that body positivity, movement as well. And a lot of it has such overlap here. The difference is that we are actively losing weight, and that is okay. We are loving our body, we are nourishing our body, we are making our body stronger, and we always have a purpose for why we're doing it. That's the other key piece of mindset work. Not only do you want to have self compassion and value who we are, you want to have a reason why you're doing this. What is your purpose? I know for me, it's that I have two very young toddlers and I was struggling to get on the floor to play with them. I needed to be able to keep up with them. And as they were getting a little bit older, they weren't just sitting one place on the floor. Like if they would just jump up and get up, I could not follow them. I could not chase after them. And that became my why. It wasn't just like a soft why, like, okay, it'd be cool if I could get into these jeans. Of course, I would love to fit into clothes that I have just buried away because I love them so much. And I hope one day to be able to fit into it again. Those are like I wants. Those are wants. But what is your why? Like what actually motivates you on the hard days? Because there are plenty of hard days. How do you keep going? How do you keep motivating yourself to truly push forward and do the work you need to alongside with the Zepbound, alongside with the Wegovy? You don't just take that shot and move on with your life. I mean, okay, there are some people doing that, but I know that's not you because you're sitting here listening to me blabber on about how you can better your journey And you're not doing that because you're just taking the shot. You're doing that because you want to get better. You want to use this opportunity to leverage a better life for yourself. So if you are looking to do that, take away two things from me. I'm going to correct that. Take away three things from me. The main point is you have to put the work into mindset. Okay. It doesn't happen overnight. You have to actually dedicate time. I know you don't have time, but make time. I'm telling you, you will never regret the work you do for your mindset. It doesn't pay off immediately, so it's hard to feel good about. But if you stick with it and if you really prioritize it, oh my goodness, it will change your whole life, not just about how you feel about your body, but how you move through a room, how you advocate for yourself. It will just be transformative. Okay. That's number one. Number two is self compassion and showing yourself the love, right? You just have, it has to be done. It won't be easy. It might feel icky for a while, but you just have to keep going. Okay. And number three is having yourself in a deep rooted why. Knowing what is driving you, what will keep motivating you, no matter how hard it gets. If you can center yourself on a solid why, oh my goodness, it will be life changing. It really will be. I know you might think I'm being dramatic. Oh my gosh, Coach Insiya, like I do not think it's that serious. Give it a try. What if I'm right? What your mindset, what you need to understand about mindset is it really is the can be a make or break to how you succeed on your journey, from how you sustain your weight loss, for how you believe your capabilities. It can sabotage you or it can drive you. And I want it to drive you. I want you to flourish, succeed, and just take control of yourself, your life, the way you deserve it. Try those out. Try this out. Let me know what you think. And hey, if you're looking for my affirmations, I actually include it in my essentials guide. I forgot to mention that earlier when I was talking about it, but help yourself to a copy. I'll include a link in the description. If you like what I'm sharing, please comment, subscribe, do all the things. Okay. I would love to keep making these videos and sharing this knowledge. I hopefully can convert this into an audio only and make it an audio because I just want to make sure I can reach more people and get this message out about the importance of our mindset while we are traveling on this GLP-1 journey, on this weight loss experience. That way we are getting the full benefits of the weight loss, okay? Not just feeling disconnected with our body and our beliefs about ourselves and capabilities. Like I want so much more for us. And I know you do too. So sending you all lots of love. XO, Coach and Sia.